Howdy, Model Railroad Talk followers. Yeah, this is a little different, isn't it? Usually on my YouTube videos, I am behind my phone, but this video is a little different. I know in the past I have done videos that I've shown like on the computer here, and I've taken my camera, my phone, and put it on there, but with this new program I have to use for the regular audio podcast, I figured I would use the video side of it and make a video for you. So we are going to be going over the yard. It's called Yard Office program. I've seen a few people ask about it in some Facebook groups, and I've been using it for a little over a year now. I started off with the I basically started off with the free version, and then I paid the $27, which got me into some. And you don't get a lot of extras, but the extras you get are good, which printing certain reports and a little more detail in the stuff you can input. So I figured it would be a good thing to show, since I've got my inventory in there and whatnot. Now, I know a lot of people use JMRI, and actually I use JMRI is for inventory as well as Yard Office. So I do it because it is redundant. It's basically redundancy. And what? Well, I'm trying to share my screen here, and for some reason, it was acting up. Share. There we go. All right. So when I open it up, when you originally open it up, let's make this bigger here. You will see this. You will get a show tips at startup, and there's a lot of useful tips with it. I have it shut off because I don't need it anymore. But you just click to the trains, and give me a second here. There we go. For some reason, it likes to go over to my second screen here. So, and you will start out, of course, this will be all blank. All right. There won't be anything in here, and I really don't want to. I don't really want to delete my database just to put it back in, but it's real simple to do. In fact, I'm going to walk through and I'll show you how to add a new, whether it be locomotive or car, in a little bit. But we're just going to kind of go through here. So file is going to be your typical stuff. Okay. Backup data, restore, import, export. You can rebuild the databases. Don't do that unless you are ready and have everything like printed off or ready to re-input stuff. Edit, of course, is just like everything, view, you can view inventory. You can browse the inventory, that kind of thing. Register or tools. I've already registered mine, but you click on that and it'll take you to their website that you got it from. And like I said, I'm pretty sure it's $27. I think that's what I paid, and it's worth it. But you can go into totals here. And we're not going to go in depth of everything, but as you can see, like I've got 13 KCS, reporting marks, 12 CP, so on and so forth. You can do it by category of your different styles, like XM, boxcar, and this and that. And all this is printable. Then you go into your preferences. Now, this is where, and I don't remember when you first download and set it up. I'm pretty sure you go into this, but you have to go into your preferences. This is where you're going to want to go first, because you can go in here and this sets up some of your basic stuff. So like I'm HO scale, category. That's the initial category you want to show up If you look right up here, where your category LO, I don't know why that was in there. Your status, which would be down here. If you look on your layout, you can change that to layout. You can change it to whatever. Your configuration, which is how did you purchase it, and we'll show you this later. You can put in a tax rate if you want, because you can, and I'll show you this later here after a bit, that you can put in what you paid for it, what it's worth, all that stuff. So this is actually, not only is it good for a regular model railroader wanting to keep track of, you know, your inventory for your personal reasons, but if you're a toy train collector, or even maybe somebody that buys stuff and wants to sit on it for, you know, a little bit of time, it has all that with it too. And of course, preferences, like at the bottom here of this little box, you'll see just different. You have to basically go through and, is this how I want stuff? Sort road numbers, numeric, alpha, however you wanted to do it. Autocomplete, you can clear it all or clear seldom used. But that's when you hit that clear. Okay, now startup here. What's it going to start up? Main, values, which are this right here is what it is across the top here. I just leave it on the main because that's the one I use the most. And I'll show you here shortly that like if you do everything, there's a lot of information up there that you may or may not want up there right away. And then of course, if you shut off the tips at startup, you can turn them back on here. And if you want to protect your database, you can set a password here as well. Field screens. This is all for stuff like over here. I don't have a lot in there. Like I don't have the cost. I don't have, you know, I disabled cost, date sold, price sold. No, I have modeling notes, but you know, you disable what you don't want showing up over here. If you're going to be putting in the values for resale or whatever, you will want those. And then of course you have where your image files, where the road heralds are, like you see here, CP. If it's got it in the database, it's got it right there. Manufacturer, and then of course your regular data folder. You can change those. I will suggest if you want your logos, your images, because as you can see right down here, you can take pictures and put them in of each model. Make sure you have all of these set to where you want them to go. If you get them all put in there and you decide, okay, I want to move it to, like I run an external hard drive for that kind of stuff. I did that, and while yes, you can move them, but then you go back and it does something with its file names. You've basically got to re-enter everything in. So I highly suggest that you get all that set up and where you want it to go before you start really entering or putting in too many pictures. So we'll start up here, and this will be blank. I like that was select for category. Like I have it sort, you know, you can do all sorts of stuff. But okay, we're going to start a new one. So it pops up just like you see here. Okay, this is blank, whatever. I'm just going to enter in, let's do ABBX, because I don't have that on my railroad. Now I'll remember to be able to, it'll be easy for me to find to delete. But you can either type in here, so ABBX if you know it, or if it's a road name that is not in here, it will ask you, do you want to enter it? So like, let's do AB12. And then like I hit tab, do you want to add a new road, AB12? It pops up here, you know, ID, description, you can put in whatever you want there. And there's a lot you can do, but we will just go with the ABBX because that's right there. Then the next thing you want to do, enter your road number, 1, 2, 3, 4, category. Now there's a lot more categories than what you see here. I've narrowed it down to the ones that I use for my railroad. So we're just going to say a standard boxcar. Now the type, there are several types. Like there's a big list of the type of boxcar it is, or the type for the keeping everything organized. Um, so we're just going to go 50 box, which, for a 50-foot boxcar, they have all sorts of different ones. And then here in the description, this is where you are able to type whatever you want. Okay. If you want to type yellow boxcar with green stripes, or, you can type basically whatever you want go in here. So that way it is easier for you. So I'm just going to select the 50-foot box I have. Manufacturer, you know what? Let's say it's a Bowser. But if you look over here to your right, there is a long list of where I went too far. A long list of manufacturers. Okay. So I know this isn't it, but we'll select Pike stuff. How about that? Even though that's not. If there is a part number, a manufacturer number, you can enter that. Purchased from, of course, there is a long list or a fairly decent list of pre-filled in places. But if you have a favorite hobby shop, like I had to put in Spring Creek, it wasn't there, so I put it in. And then status. So when you receive it, is it on the layout? Is it operating or is it not operating? Maybe you have a out of service track, or is it new in the box? Maybe you removed it and you're trying from the collection because you want to sell it, but you haven't sold it yet. Storage. Maybe you're going to put it away for a while and you don't know what you're going to do. And then used in box. So we'll call it used in box. How about that? Purchase configuration. Brass kit. Kit purchase, assembled, ready to run, new, ready to run used. So we'll just call this one ready to run used. Okay, now, and you can put in date acquired as well. So whatever date you purchased it or received it, however you want to keep track of it, you can do that. Now you have model notes. You have these two notes down here. We will go next to that down the road here. Okay, then you have values. Now see, you notice here, okay, there's a quantity 1. Maybe you bought 4 of them and you're only going to put 2 on your railroad and you want to sell 2 down the road. That's where you would put your quantity in here. These are all grayed out here because if you remember in the setup, in the preferences, I had those deselected. But as you can see, you can put the retail price, discount, what the price you paid. It'll figure out what percentage of retail, any extra cost, whether it be shipping, packaging, whatever. Tax, and then you can date the date you valued, current value, date sold price, that kind of thing. Details. Now this is where you can go in and put in, like I run KD 158 couplers. Trucks, I run whatever comes on them. Color scheme, Santa Fe war bonnet or blue bonnet or whatever, home yard. So this is really nice if you are in an operating group or something like that, you can actually put like the home yard. For me, I generally put, I was inputting them with Egremont yard, but now that my railroad's getting close to being done, I'm actually going to have 2. So I'm actually going to go blank on those. And then it's got stuff for prototype information if you so desire to put in, the build date, the height, the length, the weight, which those are all on your data on the cars. Condition, new or used or whatever you want to put in there. Owner, you can put in, like I have Iowa Eastern Railroad. I don't know what that other one is, but anyways, or you can use names, whatever. This one is blocked out because I decided to not have it there set. So I'm thinking that's actually for like if you have a specific train set that it came out of, if you collect train sets. So like if it's the Ray Bestis train set or Snap-on or whatever. And of course you have another place for quantity. If it's a locomotive, you can put in what kind of decoder. So Digitrax, NCE, does it have sound? Yes or no? The type of decoder. So like Digitrax DH166 is one that I use quite a bit. And then whatever the address is. Then you go over to, well, we're going to skip this for a second. We're going to go back to the everything and you'll see where I'm talking about. So notes, you have modeling notes, and then you have, over here, you have notes like for the car. So like you can go here and you, like, let's say you want to do configuration notes. You can click on that and it'll only show up if you have this on configuration. So as time goes on, if you keep entering notes, for, you know, as you acquire information or want to put information in, it helps you kind of sort it. I generally do all mine in the model notes. I was putting everything there, but then we're going to go over to this next one, the log. I actually started using the log, maintenance and value. So like new, so today's date, I don't know, added bushings to the trucks. If you want to put in what the bushings cost, you can. I don't. But the thing about this is when I do maintenance, or if I have a car out of service and I put it back in, I come in here, type in what I do. So I have track of it. I can, you can print all that off too. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. Well, I guess it don't matter. DCC, same thing. You have your information up here. But this is a good place for you to go if you are, like, say, speed matching. And I didn't think about this when I did this, but see, I made a spreadsheet so that I can write CV numbers down and what CV number and what you know, what the values are as I change them. So speed matching or lighting or whatever you're doing with your locomotive, sound. But then you can take, like what I did there, once you get your final numbers and you're set and everything's good, you can come in here and you can actually put in the CV numbers, type what you did or the description, the value, what the default is. You can put all that information in there for that particular, if it's a locomotive. So that way, or even a rail car, if you have a function-only decoder in a rail car, you can put it in here and keep track of it all in one place. So so far, I know it seems like a lot, and it just like any program like JMRI or anything like that, if you decide to go this route, this is free to download and free to try. You don't have to, you can do a majority of this stuff I'm showing you in the free version. So if you're thinking about it, just download it. It is a little bit bigger of a file. But it is worth it to look through it at least, because it's got a lot of useful information, and depending on how much detail and everything you want to go into, it's going to go almost as full detail as probably anybody wants for the most part. All right. So remember, I said we're going to go back to this everything. All right. I'm going to flip between these two. So remember our main, this is the first one that pops up. Then you go here, everything. So as you can see, this is nice if you want everything to pop up. If you're putting in purchase prices and you're doing DCC and you're filling all this out, this is nice. But I prefer this because whenever I go in here, and I'll show, we're going to do this. We're going to delete that car we just did. And actually, I'm going to go down here to, I think this one. I think I have it in here. Nope, I don't. I got to find it. Let me find it here. I know I got one. Obviously. Okay, there we go. Bear with me here. All right, there we go. So this one, and I have to get my pictures put back in here. See, this is what happens if you move pictures. So, but as you can see, this is my BNSF locomotive, number 1000, locomotive diesel, C44-9. It was purchased, it was an Athearn Blue Box, or is. I bought it off Facebook Marketplace. This one I happened to put in when it got to me. Status layout, technically layout not operating because it's in a box, but I don't worry about that. Ready to run, it was, other than I had to put a DCC decoder in it. Obviously value, I don't care. So it's got KD 58s. That's before I started using the 158, and the only difference is the whiskers versus the little brass things. The color scheme, it's the BNSF, the Heritage 1 is what they call it. Like right here, home yard, Egremont was my very first yard. So I'm actually going to delete that because I will eventually have 2 yards here soon. Prototype, I don't really, at this point in time, don't care. Down the road, that will probably change, but right now I don't care. I did buy it. It was used. Owner, the BNSF. So I'm using the actual roads that are owning it. If I ever get into an interchange beyond the basement where it's I'm actually moving cars, or cars are coming here, I may stick with the railroad and put the other person's railroad or even their name. Quantity 1, but right here, Digitrax decoder. Sound, no, but I used the DH166D and the address. Let me find, okay, so here is a rail car, just so you can kind of get you an idea. BNSF, road number, FG, which is freight car gondola. GB50 is what it is in here. So gone, it's a 50-foot gone basically. And you can edit all this too. So I don't need anything special, but for description, I at least put something in there so it's not blank. Athearn blue box. I don't care about the manufacturer number. Oh, and where these are blue, those are all required to be able to save, a car. So I bought it off Facebook Marketplace. It was new in a box, but it was a kit. And then, don't need any of that. Details, I haven't done this yet, but so we'll just say, KD, if I can do this right, KD 158 trucks. I generally put, even though they're Athearn ones, I actually put that somewhere else. So condition, it was new. Owner, come on now. BNSF. There we go. So then we're going to go over here to everything. Don't need that. Notes. And I'm trying to figure out why there was something there that wasn't supposed to be there. I guess it's there. Anyways, like here's where I will put Intermountain 33-inch wheel sets. So that way I know it's got Intermountain wheel sets. I do run KDs as well. I won't necessarily put that in here. This is more for down the road, is how I do it. Of course, not DCC. So we've got all this. Now, we're going to go down here to, and if you want to add an image, you just hit image. Usually it'll be blank. You select it from where you keep your images, that kind of thing. You can edit the name, and you have a lot of options with it. And you can add more than one picture too. So say this gondola, I start weathering it. Let's say I beat it up and then I take a picture and then I, process of weathering, maybe 3 or 4 layers. Okay. And I take pictures of it. You can enter those on there and that'll save. Okay. So then we're going to go down, of course, browse. You can browse through, you can print all this. This is just another way to look through everything. Of course, delete. You can delete one, or you can click to find if there's a specific one you're wanting to find. So you select reporting marks or category, whatever, and it'll help you find it. Browse is what we just looked at, and images I showed you, and then reports. So it's gonna pop up here. Of course, you can filter. We're not gonna go through all that. So we're gonna go all items. Or you can do a single item. If you just want to report on this single item, you can. And you can design your reports and stuff. I have not messed with that. So if you have done that or you know how, and reach out to me. I would love to know how to do that so I can design. Not that there's anything wrong with these reports. Like this is just the simple basic report, list of inventory. But I'd like to design it a little bit and make it more official for the Iowa Eastern Railroad. So we're going to select all items, and you can do rosters, you can do labels and photo sheets. And I've done that. I had my labels right here all ready for this, and I don't know what I did with them. There we go. So you can print off these labels. These are the 5160s or 8160s. And I don't know how well you can see that. Well, you know what? I can show it on the screen. Oh, that's not what we wanted. So like 3-column screen. You can see, of course, it's going to act up. Okay. See, it'll show like, you can print it off. It'll show your pictures and all that. And these are just on those like address labels. I like them because sometimes if you buy used rail cars, even if they're new, the markings on the box don't have all the right information or car number. You can do DCC labels. You can do car cards, loco cards, locomotive I can't even talk. Locomotive roster cards. And then you can do operations, which is printing off a whole bunch of these, and for different things that you want to do. Maybe for like a full size. Inventory, if you want to do that. Lookup tables, there's all, but majority of what people will be using is this right here. And you can do it by reporting marks. You can do it by category. So, category, it's going to go, what kind of, it'll print based off of what kind of unit it is. I generally do reporting marks on this one. And then I take my JMRI, and when I print out my JMRI, I do that for the type of unit it is. So, as you can see, there is an awful lot with this. And I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure. I don't know if like JMRI, you can set up different layouts and stuff like that. Let's stop this. There we go. And the reports are different. They're nice. I like it because I cross-reference it to make sure, like, in fact, the other day, on Monday, I believe it was Monday, I was going through one and I'm like, I don't have this in this one, but it's in this one. And I went through, figured out exactly what I needed to do. And I got it straightened out. So now, not that it's anything, but for me, I like kind of doing things like business in a sense, because it just adds to it. So like I did an inventory, if you will, and I went crosswise, and now both of these, with the exception of this having the yard office, prints off my locomotives too, because I have them in there. I don't put my locomotives in JMRI, with the exception of this having the yard office having my locomotives. All my rail cars are lined up. I know how many I have. I've got a good cross-reference. And if you listen to a couple episodes ago on our audio podcast, we're talking about how, why it's good to have an inventory. In the worst-case scenario, if something happens, you have something to give insurance. But reach out to us, modelrailroadtalk@gmail.com, or you can go to our website, www.modelrailroadtalk.com. You obviously can reach out to us through here on YouTube. Go to Facebook. We're on there, Model Railroad Talk. Would love to hear from you. Have you used Yard Office? If you have, is there any tips? If you haven't and you're interested more in it, let me know. By no means am I getting paid for this. I even reached out to them and see if they'd be willing, if they wanted to work with me. And, and I'm not cutting them down, but it's just, I do know, or I should say the way I understand it is it's one or two guys. They're not really, this isn't their full-time job. So it's a part-time gig for them. And they just, they're not looking to, make buku bucks on it. It's just like a side project thing that they did however long ago. And so, but it's something that I believe in. So I wanted to kind of show you guys a little bit more about it. I know downloading on the internet programs can be kind of scary, but this one, as long as you're going to Yard Office, which, speaking of which, let's do this. I will tell you, I should have had this ready, but the Yard Office software is actually, you're going to go to www.musicmixradio.com /Yard Office. So yes, it is a oddball web address, and I was a little skeptical at first, but I've been using it for a year and a half now, or well, about a year and a half now. Haven't had any problems. And so go download it for free. Check it out. If it's something that you're interested in, real easy to do. On the scale of easiness compared to JMRI, because you can go to JMRI, download that for free, and keep your inventory on there. This is going to be easier because JMRI requires you to download Java 11 and keep that up to date and blah, blah, blah. This, you don't need that. It downloads. You extract the files, run them, and go through the tutorial as much as you want or as little as you want. So reach out to us. Let us know what you think. I want to thank you for another video. I apologize. Videos have been far and few in between lately. A lot of it has to do with my back. Surgery yesterday was great. I'm feeling great today. I'm sure I'm going to be still sore. I know I'm going to be sore off and on, but anyways, I wanted to do a video for you guys. Thank you for supporting, and if you have any questions, reach out to us. So in the meantime, keep your train on the tracks.